coming back, so we have Ravish Bhatnagar, Industry Head, Financial Services, Meta. Ravi, I would like to invite you on stage. Ravish is currently the Head of Industry Financial Services at Meta, where he manages the ads business and WhatsApp business for the financial services markets. In his last industry stint, he architected the digital bank and was also heading the digital banking for InsurTech's retail and consumer bank. Prior to that, he spent 7 years in McKinsey & Company and building digital businesses, leading change management across sectors. He also served on the advisory board for Sahmati, AI ecosystem, and serves as a mentor on consulting and scaling digital business on multiple online platforms. Welcome, Ravish.
So this session will be actually a zippy session for like the next 11 minutes. Now, I got a bunch of queries while coming in, what is exactly Meta doing here? So while we may not be the pilots or the co-pilots that Nilanjan was talking about, we are the guided technology that helps pilots and co-pilots actually reach the right destination, and that's what we are trying to do, right? How do you increase penetration in this particular country? I think that's a big role that we have taken, and we help our partners in actually getting and fulfilling that particular objective. Right, so without much ado, I'll just get on to it. So specifically, in terms of Meta, right, what do we do, right? So we help connect world over to the 3.8 billion actives. Now, these are people, by the way, who are active on social media platforms, sharing, commenting, liking, etc., all of that, right? And in India, we closely trail the internet penetration in the country, right? That's what the reach of the platform is, and that's what we are trying to do, that how do we use the platform's benefits to actually reach out to the objectives of all the insurers and the aggregators, the manufacturers and the distributors in the country, right? Number two is specifically that we help fulfill the objectives. So whatever is the business objective that the organizations have, we help in actually fulfilling that, whether it is starting from awareness to building that consideration so that people actually end up even considering your brand as a, to buy. Number three is finally actually converting and purchasing that particular brand. So that's the second major thing. Number three is what we are also doing right now is putting all our AI assets to work. Now you would have seen recent news around us releasing something called Llama 2 in public, which is, by the way, an entire exact it's what is equivalent to an OpenAI's ChatGPT or Google's Bard. But what we have done is actually we have released the code to the public. So now you have the code, academics have the code, and you can actually build your own ChatGPT to power your businesses. You know where the code is routing to, so the power is in your hands. Similarly, last month we released something called Seamless M4T, again for open use for public, which is 100 languages get translated, speech to text, text to text, speech to text, text to speech, right? All of that sitting in just one large learning model, and that we have released it to public. So what we are doing is not just our ad products, which are powered by AI, which is Reels, our AI suite called Advantage Plus, we are actually releasing a bunch of tools for public consumption. So for the consumption of insurers, for the consumption of aggregators in the country, all of that is what we are doing, right? So quickly, so Connections was the first thing that I talked about. I think it's anyways the largest aggregated social media platform that exists in the world. What we have started doing, I think last 1 year, the platform has started working for insurance beautifully. So whether it is a brand objective, whether it is a performance objective, which is actually selling policies, it has started working beautifully because we have added a bunch of products, which is AI-led, and that's at the core of what is working right now. And as we said, we are all in on AI, right? So whether it is virtual reality, whether it is augmented reality, whether it is Reels, whether it is Advantage Plus suite, whether it is the Llama 2 or the Seamless M4T. So all of it is actually hinged on and built on the core building blocks of AI, right? So let me just show you something. Now this is M4T. As I said, 100 plus languages. Let's see how it works and how it can help you. Again, the code is with you. You can download it, and all of that is available. So after you're done, you can actually scan this and maybe keep it for usage. You can go to the exact website.
At Meta AI, we created...
sorry. Can the... I think the voice...
At Meta AI, we created a new foundational translation model. We call it Seamless M4T. The technology is multimodal. That means that it can understand language from speech or text and generate translations into either or both. It can also transcribe speech into text, and all with a single model. What's very exciting is that it's also massively multilingual. Right now, it supports translation into nearly 100 languages for text and 35 languages for speech. Let's take, for example, the phrase, "Our goal is to create a more connected world." If I say this in Spanish, nuestro objetivo es crear un mundo más conectado. Seamless M4T can translate this phrase into text for nearly 100 different languages. The model can also generate speech-to-speech translation for 35 languages.
Mục tiêu của chúng tôi là tạo ra một thế giới kết nối hơn.
Now, let's talk about code switching. Code switching happens when a multilingual speaker switches between languages while they are speaking. Our model Seamless M4T automatically recognizes and translates more than one language when mixed in the same sentence. As a multilingual speaker, this is a very exciting capability for me. I often switch from Hindi to Telugu when I speak with my dad. Notice in the following example when I change languages. मैं हिंदी, తెలుగు और अंग्रेजी में बोल सकती हूँ. కొన్నిసార్లు నేను ఒకే సంభాషణలో అన్ని మూడు భాషలను ఉపయోగిస్తాను.
I can speak Hindi, Telugu, and English. Sometimes I use all three languages in one conversation.
Seamless communication is the latest step in our ongoing effort to build AI-powered tech.
So specifically, this was just a small example of what technology is capable of, and we have released it for free usage per se. You can scan this and maybe attempt it. It actually surprises me. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with my wife, and she needed some translation for the government, right? And she used it, and she found it like way better than a bunch of other translators. Again, open for use. Feel free to use it. Let's move on. In terms of at least for insurers and aggregators and everyone in the entire value chain, right? What does Meta help, right? I think the topic that is core, and that's what the entire discussion, at least 70-80% of the discussion right now is connections, right? So what do? We actually help provide the right connections, right? So if it's for an insurer a very, very under-penetrated geography, or for example, even TV dark geographies, there are a bunch of places in India which are TV dark. So whether it is certain states in the Northeast or any specific village, etc. So the idea is that still over there, one of our, either of WhatsApp or Instagram Reels, it's playing right now, right? So hence, the idea is that we connect to those people, and that's the beauty that a bunch of our partners are actually utilizing right away. The other thing is on efficiency, right? So in this cash-starved world, every marketing rupee needs to work. So hence, the entire solution suite, whether it is Advantage Plus that exists or Reels, these are working for performance outcomes, which is getting that policy in, getting someone to actually, buy a policy who's sitting in maybe a Mizoram, and he or she is buying a policy on their Instagram by looking at maybe an influencer who's talking about it, or maybe a brand which is giving the message which actually connects them in their vernacular language. So that's what the platform does. And number 3 is for people who are already in your fold, how do we, because we can do one-to-one personalization through some of our platforms, what it means is that it helps you drive better loyalty, better retention, and is able to ensure that whatever customers are already connected with you, they stay engaged, and they basically become your ambassadors as well as we go forward. Just to give a quick example on the connections, the platform actually is able to deliver 93% on-target accuracy. So for an insurer, if he or she, if they are willing to, for example, understand and reach out to people on the back of age, gender, location, pin codes. The entire platform is able to deliver with 93% accuracy. So that's the effectiveness of the platform. And in places, at least, we are able to ensure that the reach efficiency is way, way higher than some of the competing platforms. And currently, users are actually connecting with over 1 billion messages on a weekly basis through our entire messaging suite of solutions. Just to give you an example, this is a large top 3 private insurer, and they wanted to, their share in 2 particular geographies, West Bengal and, specifically West Bengal and Mizoram was fairly small. So they wanted to reach out, and Mizoram is essentially a large TV geography. So when they just started using the platforms and the capability on December 2022. And the first thing that they said, let's solve for the most difficult task, right? And they were able to actually double the entire business from that particular region by using the platform and the power of connections that exist within the platform. And I'll just go forward. One of the things that is important is what is happening in the platform. By the way, the people are using the platforms, half of the content, half of the time that they're spending is on videos, whether it is actually for entertainment, whether it is for following your own passion, whether it is for connecting with people. But half of the time that is being used is actually on videos. So the entire idea of all our partner brands is also to ensure that at least they focus and understand what kind of videos also work on the platform. So again, some metrics, I'll not get into it. I think the performance, you would have followed Meta's trajectory from last year to this year and how Meta is doing. So again, performance-wise, doing fairly well. But the idea is that how do you make use of it so that you can better your objectives, right? The other big phenomena is Reels. 2 trillion minutes of Reels were being played across 2 trillion minutes last year. And Gen Z is also utilizing this particular platform to the utmost advantage. 2 billion shares, by the way, or reshares happen on a daily basis. That's the amount of Reels that are being shared or reshared. And India is actually one of the Reels first markets and is driving a lot of the innovations. And how can insurers actually use this to their advantage? Let me actually show you a quick one. And this is a very well-known influencer who's actually trying to create a category. So the idea is there are recent guidelines that are there, but category creation is still, which is something that everyone wants to do because we are still a largely under-penetrated market, right? So how do we do that? And this was done for, again, one of the top digital insurers, which delivered actually a lot of positive results and traction in terms of reducing their, what they call as average cost per quality quote, and also help their acquisition metrics improve, right? So let's see how they do it. Sorry.
3 ऐसे टर्म इंश्योरेंस मिथ्स जिनका अब क्लियर हो जाना ना बहुत ही ज्यादा जरूरी है. मिथ नंबर 1, टर्म इंश्योरेंस बड़ा ही महंगा होता है. नॉट ट्रू. पता है 1 करोड़ का टर्म इंश्योरेंस आपको लगभग एक पिज्जा के प्राइस में मिल जाएगा. हाँ, लेकिन टर्म इंश्योरेंस का प्राइस ना एज के साथ बढ़ते जाता है, तो आपको तब ले लेना चाहिए जब आप बहुत यंग हो. नंबर 2, आपको पूरी पॉलिसी ड्यूरेशन के दौरान प्रीमियम पे करना पड़ता है. नॉट नेसेसरी.
Okay. See, the idea was to just share with you, this works for their audience. So each of the creators, as we call them actually, know their audience really well, right? So the idea is that they talk in a very simple language, which works for not just them, but their entire audience. So everyone is connected to maybe 8 million, 10 million, some of these large creators, and that's how they are able to share their message across. And people do, trust some of these creators, and then that's the journey, and that's the motion that is on. So while people are out there for entertainment, valuable advice, valuable insurance penetration, all of that is happening right now on the platform. So quickly, jumping gun, I just wanted to show what is the power of connection and what are the different new age ways that insurers are using right now to connect with their audience and ensure that they get people into the purchase journey, right? Just shifting gears to efficiency, I think the entire AI-led suite is building and helping us get better efficiency for everyone who partners per se right now. So whether it is finding new audience, whether it is delivering more relevant creative. So basically, the idea is who browses how and what kind of content they engage with, actually the machine understands, right? So that is helping us deliver better outcomes, and that helps obviously efficiency. And then what we believe is in a measurement first approach, and that helps again ensuring that the advertisers and everyone, the insurers, understand what they are going in for, right? So this we have already covered, quickly skipping, but Advantage Plus is the suite which actually is led by AI and is helping delivering great outcomes for insurance industry per se. And we are just getting started. We are only 1% done is what we believe in. And this was one of the largest insurers, an aggregator, which actually used Advantage Plus, and they used it for a segment where, you know, it's very difficult to find audiences, right? While, and this is just an example because while this doesn't increase, let's say, insurance penetration in our country, but this is just to show that what is the power of the platform per se, right? So they ended up using it for NRI audience and ended up actually using this particular product to get 67% better cost per lead and 60% higher conversion rate, right? Just, again, getting started, would be great if you guys can actually read about some of this. This is the power of the platform, right? And then finally, signing off in terms of, I think the most beloved messaging app in the country is WhatsApp. And WhatsApp is right now delivering, again, if you have to reach a nook and corner of the country where, let's say, TV is not there, maybe even Facebook is not there, WhatsApp will still be there, right? That's the power of the platform. And we are building end-to-end journeys on WhatsApp. One of our partners actually ended up delivering an end-to-end crop insurance journey, which ensured that farmers across the country were getting benefited because they had WhatsApp and they had no other channel per se. So that is what is the motion that is on. I think if you have followed Conversations, which is our global event which just happened last week, all our partners are getting benefits across from awareness, discovery, to consideration, to purchase, to post-purchase and re-engagement, and that's what WhatsApp is able to deliver. Specifically, the traction that WhatsApp has seen has led actually Meta to do something that we had never done before, right? Now cloud APIs of WhatsApp are available for data storage and all of that to happen in the country, right? So specifically India, and that is in line with, again, a lot of policies, a lot of things that are happening in the market, the external factor, but we think that this is the right thing to do, and hence we have actually taken that step, and we have just released the cloud API entire segment for people to consume. So for financial services, it's again a step which is will go a long way in helping us increase the penetration in the insurance category. And recently, what we have done is we have launched last week 2 new features, which makes payments possible on WhatsApp, and we have also made it democratized, interoperable, which means you can pay either using WhatsApp Pay or any other UPI app, which is Paytm, Google Pay, anything, ICICI Bank, anything, and then you can also pay through your any credit card, any debit card, any particular model. We have just made it interoperable to the next level so that people can use this particular facility, which is now available, and we've also curated something called flows. So please go back and read about flows. You can actually do any journey now on WhatsApp. Flows actually gives you the ability to call any particular API within WhatsApp, and you can do any particular journey within the realms of WhatsApp. So that's what has happened, and I'll just sign off with a quick example. Thank you, everyone. That was it.